What's up, guys? It's Rantium here, and today we are back in Skyrim. That's right, you guys, and oh snap, is it gonna be an awesome freaking day? So guys, welcome back. So this weekend, we're only gonna be doing 2 home showcases just because of things that were out of my control. So only 2 this weekend, but today, we're starting off here in Whiterun, of all places. I know if you've seen any of my other home showcases, it's always in freaking Whiterun, but we are literally in Whiterun for this one, right next to Dragon's Reach, taking a look at this, the unique vampire home. Now, or I should say the unique vampire den, or the unique vampire kind of catacomb dungeon, you know, whatever you want to call it, it's there for your use. Now, this mod is a little different from the mods that I've done in the past, whereas normally I only showcase 1 home, but in this one there's actually 6 that you have access to, but they're a little bit scattered around Skyrim and even Solstheim. So without further ado, let's actually get into this one, being the one in Whiterun. Now I'm currently standing next to Dragon's Reach on its right side, so if you're looking at the Dragon's Reach door, it's on its left side. Or if you're standing, walking outside of the door, it's on its right side. Now, the door that you want to look for is right back here, called the Forgotten Catacombs. And here we are, inside of the Forgotten Catacombs. Now, the one thing that I love about this mod is the availability of a vampire den in pretty much every single place you're gonna go to, because just as the mod author describes in the description of the actual mod, they were a little bit disappointed with the lack of kind of sanctuaries slash dens for the vampires, because with Dawnguard, with the addition of the vampires and everything like that to become the Vampire Lord, there really wasn't a cool place besides Castle Volkihar to call yourself, or to call your own, and to call your home. And it was a little bit finicky having to feed on random people throughout Skyrim. You know, there's some of us who want to maintain a regular life in Skyrim while also being able to feed on people. So what this mod aims to accomplish is it gives the vampires of Skyrim, those of us that like to roleplay as vampires of Skyrim, a place to come and a place to be able to feed in privacy, to sleep in privacy, and to get away from the rest of Skyrim in order to in order to become and stay a vampire. So that's going to be a major theme throughout each and every single one of these little homes that you see. But what I love is that each of them is unique. They're not all going to look like this. They're not all going to have the same things inside of them. So it's going to be kind of nice to be able to be a traveling vampire and go from place to place to place and have cattle to feed on, places to store your things, and the work table every now and again of maybe a workbench, maybe an alchemy table, enchanting table, stuff like that, just things to get you going. So that was the one from Whiterun. Next, we'll move on to Markarth. Now, this next vampire den we have found is down here in Markarth, actually inside of the Understone Keep, inside of the Hall of the Den. I know you're kind of inside of a whole lot of places, but one thing that I love about this one is just how far out of the way it actually is from, anything else. Because a lot of mods, the problem they have is they always put just like a random trapdoor, walking in a super busy street or something like that, and then, people just walk over top of it, and it's not very well hidden. But this one, inside of the Hall of the Dead, inside of Markarth, is pretty well hidden. There's a trapdoor right here. It's a hidden cellar. Now, we all remember the mission that you have to come through here for the Daedric deity. I believe it's Namara. I think it's Namara in here, which it teaches you cannibalism and stuff like that. But we can go down here into the hidden cellar. Now, I haven't seen the inside of this one, but it took me a little bit to actually find the damn trapdoor to get here. But here we go. This is your vampire den in the city of Markarth. Now, like I said in the one in Whiterun, they're all unique. So this one is more so modeled after the Dwarven city, kind of more Dwarven aesthetic, but it still keeps the vampiric kind of feeling that you have anytime you see vampires. Because I don't know if you're like me, but every time I see vampires in this game, I just kind of want to run away because they're always just chasing me everywhere. And it is kind of cool to play as vampires, but I will say it is kind of nice to have this stuff here and have people, living in them, and just have a place to escape if you are indeed a vampire. It's cozy in here, kind of, not so much. The dwarves, I don't really know why they always built everything out of stone, including the beds, but, I guess that's all they had access to. But a lovely little kind of sanctuary down here in Markarth, out of the way of everything Very easy to get to, kind of, if you can get past, the Markarth guards and stuff like that, but kind of a neat and, I guess I should say, appropriate place to have it placed. Now, the next place we'll go to is the one in Windhelm. Now, this one in Windhelm takes you to the front-facing door of Clan Shattershield. Now, in order to find this one, first you have to come to Windhelm, which is right here, and I'm standing right here. Now, Windhelm, or I should say the house of the Clan Shattershield is right here. If you take a left and go around the corner to the left, you'll find what's known as the Lost Hall. And here we are inside of the Windhelm Vampire Sanctuary Den, whatever you want to call it. It is perfect. And I gotta say, this one is my favorite so far because the aesthetic just screams vampire. And it's so cool. I love it. Looks like there's 2 entrances. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Okay. This escalated really quickly. It's beautiful in here. Look at this. I've always been a fan of the buildings in Windhelm just because of how high class they look, and I think it carried over really, really well into this little vampire den. Lots more storage in this one than there have been in the past 2 that we've seen. A lot more things that, catch my eye and really make this one stand out. And then this looks to be, oh my god, I love this so much. It's like a grand dining hall. Looks like there's a cage back there for cattle. It's got an enchanting table in there, it's got an alchemy lab inside of here, lots and lots of storage inside of here as well, as some places to put up weapons and shields and everything like that, and there's always other vampires in here, which is very cool because you can always count on it to make it feel lived in, which is perfect. Now, it looks like over here, like I said, we have our vampire cattle area, and they look to be treated the best here. They have their own little area, there's bones to play with, just pick up a femur and have a sword fight. They have a nice fireplace in there to have, warmth and everything like that, but you're never too far away from the torture tools that will make your life misery. But I gotta say, out of all of them so far, this one's my favorite just because of the decor and the way it feels whatsoever. Got some books right here for the bookworms of Skyrim. I should say for the vampiric bookworms of Spyro. Good one. Of Skyrim. Very, very cool inside of here. Plus, a master bedroom inside of here, which is kind of nice. Now, the next one that we'll take a look at is in Solitude, and then the last 2 after that is Ragnarok and Riften. Alright, so here we are in Solitude, and the Winking Skeever is where we need to be to find this one. So the Winking Skeever obviously is right next to the front door entrance of the town of Solitude, or the city of Solitude, and I believe it's going to be back here somewhere. Right here, the secret cellar. Now, on the direct left side of the Winking Skeever is where you're going to want to find this little well entrance. It also says, alternatively, in the mod description, that the basement of the Winking Skeever, there's a door entrance there as well. So it's kind of nice to have 2 separate entrances. And here we are, inside of the Solitude Vampire Den. Now, another thing I should mention is I'm a huge fan of the way the Solitude buildings look like. It's Windhelm and Solitude for the win, just because of the stone-like castle-esque structures that they have in their entire cities. But this one looks like we have a bar right here, more vampiric cattle that seem to be treated a little less nicely than they did in Windhelm, but even still, always nice to have. Because, like I said in the beginning of the showcase, that's what this mod is about. Being able to survive and sustain yourself as a vampire without having to sneak into buildings at nighttime and feed on people. Now, for some people, that might be what you want to do for being a vampire, but I know if I was playing as a vampire, I would just want a steady flow of vampiric cattle for myself and any other vampires that I had with me to be able to feed on to control my power. Now, what I love about this is it mimics a grand hall of like a big cathedral or a castle. Very, very nice with this very large, long table. It's a couple tables stuck together, but lots and lots of places for food. Lots of bookcases for the vampiric books of Skyrim once again. And just a really, really neat section. Now, I saw an upstairs section as well, and I'd imagine it goes around up here. Let's see, open door. Aha, what do you know? The plot thickens. Nice little double staircase right here that leads up to more bookcases. A weapon plaque right there with a shield rack as well. Oh, and another one completely adjacent. More bookshelves. And an enchanting table at the back. Now, you'll notice it's mostly alchemy labs and enchanting tables. There aren't really any crafting for, or there isn't really any crafting for staves, nor is there crafting for weapons and armor. Because most of the time, the vampire it's probably not going to be spending too much time crafting weapons and armor. But the master bedroom, would you look at this? I love how it gives you two choices as well. In some of the more regal / wealthy areas, you have a nice double bed, or you have a coffin, standard for every vampire. But just kind of nice to see the options that you have for that. Looks like she's going... Oh, I thought she was going down for a cat nap. But next is in Riften, underneath of the Ragged Flagon. Alright, now this one is a little bit darker to see, but it's inside of the Ratway, not the Ragged Flagon, but it's on the way to the Ragged Flagon. So we all know the Ragged Flagon / the Ratway pretty well as long as we've done the Thieves Guild quest, but you know the bridge that takes the little lever up here, or wherever it's at, to push it down? Well, if you come right down below it, there's an abandoned hideaway. And here we are, inside of the Ratway kind of abandoned hideaway, and would you look at that? What was I just saying about a vampire not needing a workbench? Guess I was wrong on that, because would you look at that? We've got everything that we need in here to sustain ourselves, both as blacksmiths, as enchanters, as alchemists, and even as hunters, which is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie, because I love the aesthetic inside of here, very reminiscent of the actual Ragged Flagon down where the Thieves Guild likes to hang out. Now, I gotta say, out of the places that I've seen so far, this one is really, really unique in the fact that Riften, you don't think a whole lot about, you know, having the vampires in here, but having them underneath where the Thieves Guild is actually at, it's kind of interesting. Even though Fort Dawnguard is literally like a rock's throw from Riften, it is kind of neat to know that the vampires could be this close under their noses, and they wouldn't even know it. Looks like we got our vampiric cattle back here. Very neat to see. And then a couple little storage areas with our bedroom right here. Once again, with the master bedroom having two choices, one for the bed and one for the coffin. Always nice to have. Now, as we briskly bring this mod showcase to a close, the last one that can be found is actually in Ragnarok in Solstheim, and we're going to head there right now. Alright, so here we are in Ragnarok. Obviously, the Solstheim DLC, for those of us that have the Skyrim Special Edition and all that stuff. We are north of the Earthstone. Now, the Earthstone is the stone that's being built kind of by the mind-controlled people right outside of Ragnarok. Now, if I go ahead and turn around from where I'm at, you'll see this big area right here. You're looking for this building right here. It's obstructed by the little bushes, but the abandoned chambers is what you want to find. And here we are inside of the Ragnarok Vampiric Den. Now, this one I would say is probably going to be the biggest out of them all, mainly because a lot of the buildings in Ragnarok have this nice underground section, which just allows them to shove so much more shit into the houses. And a lot of the home showcases that I've done in the past in Ragnarok and in Solstheim have been absolutely incredible, and this one takes the freaking cake for maxing out the vampiric feel. What the hell is this shrine, dude? Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it so much. This makes me want to go through and play again as a vampire, but look at this shit. Oh, I freaking love the decor down here. It just makes it feel so bleh. It's so creepy. I love it. But once again, I love the cages through here. Look at that. We've even got even more vampiric cattle through here. That's kind of nice. I think that's the most vampire cattle that we've seen so far. But once again, a nice double bed. We've got ourselves a coffin as well, just in case you want to stay with a theme. But just so cool. Overall, I think this mod really accomplishes its goal of giving you 6, not 1, but 6 brand new vampiric dens for you to cast away and hide away from the outside world. You could literally survive anywhere in Skyrim, and now even Solstheim, if you are a vampire. So guys, I very much hope that you enjoyed today's little mod showcase, can't speak, and guys, I will see you in the next one.